Alright, welcome to a new mini campaign called, well, the exact name of the campaign is to be determined, but this is in the Blood Moon setting that is being developed by me. Yeah, this is a Victorian sort of gothic setting in a medieval sort of area. It's not actually real, Europe or anything like that. But yeah, I can do that. Let's see. And you hear that slip, the new one?
Yeah, that's good now, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to read a bit of information on the setting just to keep people, my players, and anybody who's watching informed of kind of what's going on. It's kind of in a synopsis form because I lost the actual writing earlier. So here it is. Let's see. Roi de L'est has a mountain range in the east with silver mines and others with components to gunpowder like saltpeter and charcoal, which is protected and owned by the king. To the west is the dark forest, which is haunted, and not many travel it. Past that, the theocracy of Fena, who try to spread the religion of the bloom. The rose is their holy symbol, and they have a small monastery in Roi de L'est, but are not popular. They have been warned many times about religion in general, but so far they have been left mostly to their own devices. Speaking of religion, in history, King Henry created the hedonistic codes of King Henry, encouraging hedonistic behavior and outlawing all local religions. Some laws, like murder or theft, still exist, but social norms are typically not followed like some other places. One odd law is that of the mask wearing. In public, people should wear masks, and they became more ornate over time. The only time that they aren't worn is typically in non-public places, in wilderness and war, etc. There are vampires of all shapes and types, and the blood moon is used for executions. This is obviously a eclipse. Currently, a lunar eclipse. Currently, the king is Constantine. There was a peasant uprising about 10 years ago, and it was put down. It was called the Pitchfork War. King Constantine's father was captured and held prisoner for 2 years before dying of an illness. When he did, Constantine brought the full brunt of his soldiers down upon them, many with flintlock rifles. The peasant leaders were executed in a massive blood moon called the Great Blood Sacrifice. There are various unknown ramifications of this. Roi de L'est is a rain shadow from the winds coming from the east, and the climate is dry with some snowfall for the areas closer to the mountains, but the crops they have only really exist in arid climates, such as dates and other things like that. Otherwise, trade is virtually non-existent, and weather patterns from the north, south, and west tend to cause areas closer to the forest to be wetter, but not in a significant amount. Yes, it is. It is plain. How do you pronounce your last name, Slip?
Rocher.
Rocher. Okay, perfect.
Or Rocher. Kind of soft R.
Rocher. Okay. Alright. Mademoiselle Rocher, there is a rumor of your skill as a Bloodsman, and as a Bloodsman I hope you are eager for a generous wage and notoriety greater than even you can imagine. Come visit my chateau. Cour du Soleil on April 14th for a grand masquerade. Such fun it will be. There I shall gift you the knowledge that will make the name Rocher feared by monsters you do hunt. Count Leon Waugh. Bring any Bloodsmen, friends, you think suitable for the job. There are plenty of coin and fame for everyone. And that is the message you received days ago. And you guys can you're actually on the road getting closer to this chateau that is close to the mountains, away from the great forest. And there are many of these chateaus that line the mountains, and this is just one of them. Many stay closer to the mountains that were built there due to the mining operations of silver and such that that are done here, particularly. And there's other mines as well for copper and other non-precious metals like coal, which is used to heat stoves and such. And you guys can do intros as you get closer to this chateau, and I will mute myself as you do.
Are we riding in maybe my carriage?
That's fine. That's up to you guys.
Sure. The Baroness Amalie Rocher looks around the lush interior of the carriage, wearing something very different from her usual dark attire. She's wearing... They're going to the Masquerade, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She's wearing something bright red, jeweled, something meant to be seen the minute you step into a room, even full of other ornately and gaudily dressed people. She likes the eyes on her. She enjoys her notoriety and the whispers that pass through the crowds whenever she comes to one of these events. It's really the only thing she does enjoy about them. The people themselves are interminably boring, which is another reason that she has brought with her Dr. René Dubois and Michel Gilliard, two other Bloodsmen that she knows, and counts to be relatively competent. She hopes to pick their brain a bit on the journey to the gala and perhaps learn something that she hasn't already in her extensive studies of the monsters, the vampire, that haunt their forests, that she's been studying ever since that night of the blood moon when she was taken out to die in a trial for the murder of her father. A trial she survived. And now, risen from the ashes, she is now the head of a House Rocher and expends much of her time and resources in this pursuit of the monsters. She's become quite fond of Dr. Dubois. Michel is newer to her, a churchman, not someone that she would normally take to, but his very strangeness and outcast nature in this land appealed to her somewhat. She tries to tuck in her skirts around her to prevent the men from stomping and getting their muddy prints on the hem. She looks to the others and says, "Have you been to many of these masquerades?"
Dr. René Dubois. He has been looking out the window, I think, in deep contemplation. He's not one to smile very often, and he's been quiet ever since being picked up, pretty much. He has taken an interest in, how do you pronounce your name, Emily?
Amelie.
Amelie. Amelie. Um, and I wanted to ask you, did she come on her own accord to his practice?
Oh, yes, she sought you out. You have
Okay.
a reputation and for skill and discretion. And she's offered to even keep you in her manse so that you can help her with her dreams at night. Maybe some hypnotism techniques.
Yeah, that sounds good. So he probably hasn't shared too much, or she probably hasn't shared too much yet, I would imagine. Too deeply, still working on the trust between the two of their past and their dealings with the vampire. But he is well dressed, in his early 30s, ex-military, but now he is a doctor, a psychiatrist. And he turns to her when she asks the question, and he just says simply, no, I do not frequent these very often.
Well, do not let the nobility talk down to you. They act like they have teeth, but their bite is barely enough to cut butter.
He nods and says, "'Tis good advice," and looks over towards their associate for his response.
Despite being in a semi-private carriage as they went to the mansion, Michel chose to wear his mask, more of a helmet, plain if the Baroness and Renee were the definition of opulence and nobility. He was its antithesis, with a plain mask with some filigree and plain clothes, a silver rose on his lapel, marking him as a member of the Order of the Rose. Just enough to let people know that he is a member, but not enough to metaphorically shout it out to everyone around him. He quietly stares through his mask at Amelie and Dr. Renee, not saying much on the ride, not one for much talk, as they live a life that he has never known, orphaned at a young age, raised in the monastery, his life chosen for him. As they arrive at the mansion, he looks and, oh, nobles, peasants, they are all the same to me.
Well, in some ways they are the same.
Renee will raise an eyebrow at that comment, and you can tell he nods a little bit at that. And he says, I was born in a small village of Dinan. It was my father's joining the military that escalated our family.
Poor or rich, humans have the same wants and desires. It's just a matter of coin and making that happen.
Some say this is true. Some say it is a matter of luck or fate or coin. But I will tell you this. What determines a person's power in life is the determination to grasp it at any cost. That is where power truly comes from.
Interesting, Baroness, for I feel power comes from faith and the ability to trust in something of a higher power to guide your hand when the time is right. And as he says that, he kind of removes his helmet, revealing a pale face with straight black hair that runs down to his shoulders and kind of a stern look. Uh, One that would be expected from someone that was without parents in the rigorous nature of an orphanage run by priests in a monastery.
Face is a crutch, and I have yet to find something strong enough to lean against that will not break. I prefer to trust only in the strength of my own mind and arm.
Michelle just kind of nods but doesn't challenge her any further, A, being of a higher station, and B, not willing to get into a debate of faith prior to entering the mansion.
Oh, okay, so at the masquerades here, you don't wear the masks?
He's muted.
Yeah, because the idea was that you are more known by the masks you wear than you aren't.
Oh, okay. I see. So normally we do wear the mask.
Yeah. And some people have multiple masks, or only wear them in public occasions, obviously. Like, you might not wear masks when you're on the road and, whatnot.
So the common folk would not normally know what you really look like.
Right, exactly. That's the whole point.
Okay.
Yeah, they know by your, the description of your mask. That's why masks are get so opulent, because, like,
Got it.
this person had, all these, flourishes and such.
So sitting on the bench seat of the carriage, she would have her mask in case they had to talk to someone on the road. But that's not what they're planning to wear to this gala.
Yeah, I think Renee's mask is the plague doctor one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And he taps it on his with his finger. Also, it's okay to wear weapons. I have a rapier.
They might store your weapons as you come in. Some do, some don't. It's usually in polite settings. They wouldn't, unless you're wearing, big armor and a great sword and stuff like that. I mean, if you have genteel weapons such as, rapiers or, things like that, they probably wouldn't care.
What's the name of the man who invited us again?
Leon Wa.
Leon Wa. I hope this Leon Wa is true to his word and has a real opportunity. This is not just some excuse to get me to his event. That would be disappointing.
Indeed. I must admit I have looked forward to working with you.
Yes, I look forward to seeing how your contraption works out. She kind of looks toward his special crossbow.
He smiles and he says, well, more for me. This will be a bit of therapy for myself, I imagine.
What do I know about Leonwa?
Yeah, that's a good question. You can make a lore roll. There's different levels of information for if you hit the different difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, PL1. I haven't done a PL1 game forever.
I know that hits
For-
challenging.
Yeah,
hard.
that does not hit hard. So challenging, let's see. Where?
Should I go ahead and make a roll too?
Yeah, anybody can roll.
I'm not going to embarrass myself. while he's rolling, Michel had brought a fairly large and ugly-looking sword in a sheath on his back, which he turns over to the people greeting them, as well as a very ornate pistol, almost that looks out of place amongst his normal clothes. It's a gold fluted barrel with a dragon's head at the opening of the barrel. Definitely something that would catch the eye.
Yes, what you know is Leonroy is the lord, or count technically is his station, of the chateau and the surrounding lands. He owns 2 silver mines and and produces charcoal as well. So he is actually quite wealthy, but eccentric from what you've heard. You did hear that his previous wife had died some time ago, but you're not sure of anything more recent. You do know that he was someone that was involved in the uprising, obviously as a lieutenant of the king against the rabble. But that was some time ago, and he was old even then.
I know that title isn't always a perfect
Consistent,
indicator, because there's different levels of wealth among
Yeah.
people. But how do I count him, basically?
It probably is a peer.
Here.
Yeah. As you do get closer, the carriage slogs through the mud. It has been raining here, which is not all that common. Place this close to the mountains. It is in the spring, and the one thing that is slightly concerning is that the next day is the blood moon, and obviously you were close enough. This kingdom is not very large, and you left only probably 4 or 5 hours ago, but there's always the possibility of your cart getting stuck in the mud or something like that, even though you probably would have made it by the next day at the very least. So you do get closer, realizing that the blood moon is coming the following night, and you get there sometime in the afternoon, which is a polite time to be received at a party such as this. Outside the chateau, you are greeted by a guard soldier. He is wearing a mask, kind of like a faceless bit of a more very ordinary sort of thing, which is common for soldiers, particularly those of low station, without any flourishes. Many warriors will wear mask helm combinations, such as Michel, but usually with some sort of ornate accompaniment. This one does not. He holds a halberd and nods to you as you approach. He walks up to the carriage and opens the door and steps back, allowing you to exit but saying nothing.
Amelie steps out of the carriage, waiting for the guard to hold out a hand for her to assist her
He definitely
stepping
does.
down. And she takes it without really not a glance at him. Stands outside, straightens her skirts as she waits for the others. She looks around. How many other carriages appear to be here?
You see that there is somewhat I don't know parking lot over by the side of the house, and you see there are several carriages there already.
And she just kind of vaguely looks for people she recognizes as she waits for the others to...
You see mostly over in that area there are masked servants, guards, coachmen, things like that. You don't see anybody that you would have that you would recognize exactly, and you are unmasked, and if they are as well, you would have a hard time recognizing them usually.
I meant more like house sigils on the carriages.
Oh,
but
I
it's,
see.
it's
Yeah.
fine. It's not that important. I
Yeah.
just was-
Yeah, there's some you recognize.
Michelle gets out of the carriage, standing behind Amelie and looking about, someone who'd been trained to look for things out of place, doing so, not particularly concerned with the amount of people that are there, but always being on the lookout, not sensing anything really. He just kind of quietly stands, waiting for the doctor to step out and then be led to where they need to go.
Yeah, Renee steps out, and for some reason, I keep thinking he's got like a monocle or something. So he puts that in place as he steps out.
Mr. Peanut steps out of the wagon.
Yeah, and probably for like aesthetic reasons, places his monocle and it looks about.
Yeah, on the outside, you see that there is a, you see the main manse of the chateau before you. This large old structure. It doesn't look like it's in the best repair, honestly, and for the Baroness, that would seem strange, knowing that there is silver mines in this province, if you will, and they should have plenty of funds to keep this house in good repair, and it doesn't look like it's been in very good repair for a while. The house guard walks silently towards the door and pushes it open and nods. Where he nods, it is replaced by a woman who everybody would recognize as a servant of some sort. And let me switch the screen for you guys. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one. Hold on. Did not turn dynamic lighting on. It's on. Why can you see everything? There we go. You guys can see?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. So the woman is wearing a mask. From attending these things, particularly the Baroness, that servants usually just keep their masks on. They don't pretend to be participating. And she has a fairly ornate mask. This is probably supplied to her directly by the Count as a special accoutrement for this event. She curtsies and says, welcome to whatever this place is called. Cour du Sourcil.
Yes, where is the host?
Well, he is a member of the special event. I cannot point him out. But the party is in the atrium.
She waits to be kind of directed to the atrium.
Yeah. She curtsies again, and another servant walks up and comes to you with a silver platter with glasses of wine.
Thank you very much.
And the Baroness will take one in her hand and just lightly sip it.
Michelle, out of respect, takes a glass, but makes no immediate attempt to partake in drinking.
Doesn't even grab it by the stem, I bet. What a barbarian.
Yeah, barbarian. He grabs it like whole-handed by the cup.
Right. So you get your wine passed off to you. That servant disappears down a hallway. And this one, follow me, please. And she walks down another hallway to a door that leads to the outside again, into an area which is walled and gated from the outside, probably with a fence. You couldn't see it from the front for sure. And let me move you over there. I gotta make room for you. Hold on. Everybody can see.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
You see various people walking about in the area, and she leads you in and waves her arm in a flourish forward. You notice that this place is a bit more ornate, but there's something very strange. If you look up, you see that there is a glass roof, and part of that roof has been destroyed, allowing rain to come in, and there are puddles, and there's a pool around a statue in the middle of the room. There are various people here, party goers, none of them masked. If you see someone masked, then they are doing servants' work, for sure. Now let me see here. What would this be? You can give me a Arcana challenging or a Lore desperate. Anyone who wants to. That's a 28 for Lore.
Oof.
Arcane?
Arcana.
Arcana.
Or is it Arcane? I never remember the name of it. It's in Intelligence. I'm sure you don't have it.
The Baroness is looking around for anyone she knows from any other, event.
No, you don't recognize. Well, maybe you do. Go ahead and give me a status roll.
Okay.
If you hit a 21, you do recognize someone.
Oh, jeez. Sucky roll.
Yeah, that's
Nope.
a pretty sucky roll. Yeah, you don't recognize anyone.
It's not my usual crowd.
Yeah, for whatever reason. This is a little bit further away from your chateau, so people don't like to travel over much due to obvious reasons. That lore roll is not quite good enough. So, yeah, you see that there's candles lit in the middle of the room, and there's some odd-looking tapestries here and there flowing. As you do come forward, one woman, she looks to be maybe late 20s. She has a bit of a dour look, but she's wearing a golden gown with inlays of silver, and she bows and says, "Hello, newcomers to our party. Welcome."
Are you with the estate then?
Well, I am. And who
You
may
are-
you be?
I am Baroness Amélie Rocher.
She curtsies slightly. I am Count Leon's wife, Selena, I think it's how you.
Ah,
Ah,
Selena.
and Dr. Renee gets in. Bonjour. I am Dr. Renee Dubois.
Doctor. And she looks to Michelle.
Michelle, if she allows it, takes her hand, kisses the top of it like a total suck-up and bows and goes, "I am Michelle Guillard. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Countess Roy."
As is it mine to you? I see you have refreshments. I can call for hors d'oeuvres if you wish.
I am not yet hungry, but perhaps my companions are.
No, thank you.
Please, that would be most gracious of you.
Of course. And she snaps a finger, and one of the servants kind of quickly hustles over to her, quick walking. She has a smaller platter with various things. I'm trying to think what would be a French hors d'oeuvre, but it's not coming to me right now. So
It's pigs in a blanket.
Snails.
snails. There you go. It's escargot. So there's snails dipped in butter on a cracker, or there's a cracker next to it. Escargot.
Michel being not used to this kind of opulence, I guess, compared to his upbringing, takes it and sniffs it for a little bit before putting it in his mouth and chewing, and smiles. Oh, thank you. That was delicious. And then takes a large drink of wine to wash the horrendous flavor down.
It mostly tastes like butter. I've had
And
escargot
garlic,
before. Yeah.
Lady Count, where is your lord husband? And do you have other family here?
And she turns around and there's this, perhaps a preteen girl, 12, 13 maybe. She waves her off. This is my niece, Michelle. And Michelle curtsies, but doesn't say anything, actually.
It is a pleasure, Michelle.
Celine smiles and says, Excusez-moi, she is mute, cannot speak.
He's gonna, Renee's gonna study her for a moment.
What would
See
you like
kind
to...
of like, does she seem like very timid or?
Oh, you can give me a read person, sure.
As Dr. Renee kind of looks the preteen up and down, Michel kind of smiles a little bit, and he goes, "Oh, Michel, I am Michel. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance."
She curtsies again and smiles. She does this thing where she points to you and points to her and like puts her hands up and this kind of giggles almost like your names are similar, and she finds it funny. That's what you would gather. Dr. Renee, you get this facial expression that you've seen on people before who are kind of bored in your office and are waiting to leave, and you kind of get the sense that she's waiting for something to end or something else to begin.
Okay. So he'll dismiss, just be polite and bonjour, Michel, and then move on to investigate other people as well.
Yeah, she steps aside, and you see coming from down the on the other side of the room is an older man, pale with thinning hair, long, pulled back in a ponytail, similar to Renee's in the fashion, and he wears a very high collar. His cane taps on the stone as he walks forward. And he smiles this kind of not exactly lecherous smile, but it almost seems sinister, mostly because his teeth are blackened from age, and he is missing a couple. And he bows. Oh, mademoiselle. It is good to finally meet you. I am Count Leon. Whoa.
Yeah, she just kind of holds out her hand.
He takes it and brings it up to his lips, but doesn't exactly kiss it. I am glad you have seen fit to come.
Yes, I was intrigued by your invitation and proposition.
Well, yes.
This is an interesting estate you have. I do not make it out this way very often. She kind of looks around at the place. her eyes kind of lingering on the puddles on the floor. Not deliberately, it's just kind of the way she is.
He shrugs and almost seems like he doesn't get the gist of what you're saying. Yes, it has been in my family for many years. It was decorated special by my wife for this event.
And has it been decorated?
Oh yeah, there's fresh roses, there's tapestry about. The candles obviously would have been
Mm-hmm.
put out by any rain if they were there and lit, or the wicks were wet. So there's a lot of things that have been staged after the rainfall that came in here. There's no glass like laying about. That's all been cleaned up. You don't know how old that is. You're not a craftsman to say, but definitely the roof is. There's huge holes in the roof, and it's actually quite cold in here compared to even inside due to that and the early spring weather.
This isn't like a common thing either, right?
No,
Like,
no.
No, it's weird. Everybody would know this is weird.
does it look like it's like been recently bombarded with like artillery or something like that? Or
If you give me a craft roll or a warfare roll, I could tell you.
warfare? Let me see.
That's under intelligence. That's good enough for challenging. You don't think so. You think the damage would have been much more significant. The only thing that looks like it's directly damaged is the roof, and everything else just looks like it hasn't been maintained.
Okay. I don't think he would say anything though, out of respect or anything. But he does introduce himself as well. He'll walk up and say, bonjour, sir.
Bonjour.
I am Dr. Rene Dubois,
Dr. Rene.
an associate. And he nods to Emily.
Yeah, he smiles again. A Bloodsmen, then. Wonderful.
Indeed. Thank you for inviting us to our state.
Of course. And your third man here? What is your name?
Michel bows to the count and goes, I am Michel Guillard. It is a pleasure to be at your mansion, Count. We have already met your lovely wife, and I am honored to receive these food and drink that you offer us.
He looks at you and then looks down to your lapel and looks up again. You are a man of faith. I see you wear the rose of your order.
A very perceptive eye, Count. I am a member of the Rose. Yes, I have been so for many years.
He cocks his head slightly. I did not know that they had so many converts.
Well, we may be frowned upon. It does not mean that people still do not seek us out, and we are more than happy to answer their calls for help when it is needed.
Do you follow the hedonistic codes of our lands?
I find most of my rewards come in that of faith and hard work and less of the flesh.
He frowns deeply and takes a huge gulp of wine, drinking it pretty much in one go. Renee, if you could give me a healing roll.
A healing roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's an intelligence as well.
Intelligence as well.
Ooh. That's
Yeah,
a good heal.
you see like the kind of the telltale signs on this man's face. Very red nose, very bad skin. He's almost yellowing. through the eyes, and you would say he has jaundice and is likely an alcoholic. It's not uncommon for men his age in this place of heavy drinking.
Does he seem offended by
He
Rachel's?
he just kind of he looks a bit surprised and maybe not offended or maybe just disappointed. It's in bad taste.
So do you wish to tell us of this Bloodsmen opportunity now, or is
Do you wish to have fun now, or do you wish to have fun later?
well, the Bloodsman work is the fun for me.
He does smile at that. Oh, very well, very well. We will get to the point then. Come to my office and we will speak. He
She
turns.
sets down her cup and on some shelf. And
Yeah, he actually he looks to Michelle and, are you going to drink that?
It would be rude if I did not, and he holds a cup up, and to you and all your previous successes in life, and takes a small drink. Not as nearly as much
Yeah.
as him, of course.
And to those to come. And he doesn't notice the Baroness set the wine down, but he walks by a serving girl and just grabs one up, takes a huge drink of it, draining it, and then grabs another before walking away. As he does, he walks by this. Actually, give me a. Well, no, he does it quite in the open. He walks by this woman, probably a bit younger than his wife, more endowed in the ways of her looks, certainly, shapely body, and he kind of gives her a smack on the rump as he walks by. She turns to him and smiles, and he gives her a lecherous leer and staggers by her. And of course, that's this lady up here. And she turns and spots you as you're walking by, and she gives everybody a bow but doesn't say anything. As you walk
is
on.
that pretty normal?
Yeah,
for
fairly
this place?
normal. It might be a bit untoward in the open, but having affairs is kind of commonplace. It's not frowned upon to have extramarital partners and whatnot. It's just kind of the way it is. So you go to the office. Where's that one? Is that an office or something else? It takes you to a den area away. It's actually not as nice as this picture displays. Obviously not in the greatest condition. There is a fire going, so it is much warmer. And he kind of plops down on one of the sofas and sits his goblet down. There is a basket of fruit, which he grabs up, eating a date, chewing it roughly with his mouth open, kind of slobbers everywhere as he's eating it, and he weighs. Take a seat.
Amelie does. Sits on the couch across from him.
Dr. Rene will sip from his wine a little bit more, and as he kind of strolls around the room looking at things, and but then he does join Amelie next to her on the couch.
Two's company, three's a crowd, so as the two of them sit across from the old man, he chooses not to sit next to the couch and instead stands kind of near the fireplace with an arm resting on the mantle as he slowly sips his wine and waits to see why the trio have been brought here and what he has to propose.
Yeah, for a while he doesn't really say much. He just kind of looks down into this basket, picking through whichever the fruit piece that he would like. Finally, he brings up something and plops it in his mouth again and chews, and begins talking with his, chewing with his mouth open and talking and saying, "Ah, so you have come for the great deed to destroy the vampire that has been plaguing us."
You have been plagued by one of the monsters.
What is?
In-
There are those in the far east. Nearby, there's a small grove of small forest that you pass through at some point.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
tell me how they trouble you.
Well, I have been getting these messages, and he pulls out this scroll or this parchment and kind of pushes it over to you onto the table. It's kind of wadded up. You can tell that the string's been removed and it's kind of crumpled. They claim they will kill me and my family if I do not send my wife into the blood moon for one night, and one night only, as a sign of trust. And he kind of grimaces a bit. And I was thinking that you could perhaps escort my wife and her niece to the blood moon on the upcoming night to my villa. And he names where it is. And you know that it's a couple hours away. It wouldn't take long.
Is tonight the blood moon?
No, the next night, yeah.
Why do we not take them there now?
Because this is not what the instructions say to do.
Oh, you are following the instructions, I see. She looks... says this kind of contemptuously.
I do not wish to be killed by a vampire in my bed.
What else can you tell us about these creatures?
As I know not much about them. We did find some of our servants drained, sanguine, of their blood. Every once in a while, once a month or so for the last year. And you can give me a read person, whoever would like.
Yeah. This guy's wanting us to deliver them?
No, he wants you to take, there's the vampire, you can read on the note, it says that it wants him to send his family out into a blood moon as a sign of trust, or it says it will kill them all, his entire family. He's sending them to his villa, which is close by, during the blood moon, hoping that will satisfy the creature.
Interesting.
And do you know how many there are? Approximately?
I have never seen them. If there is more than one, it is always written by this one. And he waves, and there's always, you see the signature lines, this bloody thumbprint.
Are they responsible for the holes in your ceiling, or is that another matter?
What holes are you speaking of? He looks up. There's no holes in the ceiling.
Forget I said it. It's like, I'm pretty sure I saw what I saw. I'm not a total moron, but
Yeah.
but he lets it go and goes, oh, I see. So I presume they want them for some reason beyond trust. Do you have any additional insights you may share with us?
Do not know. It could be just a macabre game for all I know. I only tell you what I know. Perhaps you can lure them out and kill them.
When was the last time someone was killed?
Well, it is always on the eve of the blood moon. So tonight is 1 month.
I should like to have seen the body of a victim, but after a month that would not be much help, I think.
Oh no, it has been burnt by now.
Well, I cannot speak for my companions, but as for me, I will escort your family and dispatch whatever monster shows itself.
As a member of the Order of the Rose, I give you my holy oath that I will see them safely to the villa and destroy any of these creatures that attempt to do any harm to them.
He's chewing and looks at you and just deadpans as you proclaim an oath in the name of your religion, and he just keeps staring at you but doesn't say anything, like he's totally shocked.
When I picked up on this, was that when he was asked the question about if he knew that vampire at all?
No, it's just I think she asked something to the effect as if you know anything else.
So Renee's been pretty quiet, kind of just like probably studying him, his movements and stuff as he's eating and whatever as he's telling the story. And then and he says, is there any other details that you could tell us at all? That would be very helpful.
Well, do you need the directions to my villa? I can give you those. He takes another big drink of his wine. His speech is starting to slur a bit.
Well, perhaps you know more about this vampire.
I do not know anymore. I simply showed you the letters. Would you like me to get all the letters? It has been for 2 years now that he has been harassing us.
Yes, I would like to study the letters, please.
I'm not sure where they are. I'll have to find them. You stay here. I'll go get them. They're probably in my room. Unless someone would like to come to my room, huh?
Baroness just kind of looks over at Michelle and makes an after you gesture.
Michelle suppressing a smile mixed with a bit of contempt at the lecherous old man, just a slight shake of the head. No, ma'am.
Doctor? You may see the letters up close if you wish.
I never mix business and pleasure, I'm afraid. And it would appear that neither does Michelle.
Dr. Dubois, he says, you sly dog. No, thank you. I am fine. I must talk to my associates a little more, please.
You Bloodsmen are also very boring. I thought you would be more interesting, Baroness, with your history.
She shrugs. I don't always shine at these sorts of events, but I think that I will prove interesting enough before all is said and done.
We will see. We will see. He gets up and pushes himself up with his cane and looks down to his wine goblet that's empty, and he just kind of sneers and walks past you, opens the door, and shuts it roughly behind him, leaving you there.
Renee's fake smile immediately drops as the man leaves, and then he looks to the others. And he says, he is not being honest about something.
Oh, what makes you say this?
I mean, besides his obvious faults of his human nature, there is something he is not telling us. Perhaps he knows this vampire a little more than he is saying.
Hmm.
Maybe a certain business deals, perhaps, or this is just
For a man
speculation.
who looks so unhealthy, uh, he is very keen to save himself at the risk of his family.
Ah, he kind of looks disgusted at that notion.
Perhaps there is more to this deal he has made than he is telling us. It is possible that perhaps providing more victims or potential victims was part of the bargain. Although he could have picked easier prey than Bloodsmen.
Tell me, Baroness, does he perhaps have something to gain by sending out his wife and, did you say daughter, Ted?
She's technically the niece of the wife.
Michelle.
Yep.
Does he have something to gain? Perhaps getting her out of the way will open himself up to bringing a younger wife and perhaps a chance at an heiress.
Yeah, perhaps, although if this man can perform such duties in the bedrooms, then I will eat my knife. That is, he does not seem capable of it. Then again, she thinks of the buxom woman. Perhaps he does have a replacement in mind.
Either way, I think getting them away from him is not such a bad thing.
Well, I do not trust him, you do not trust him, and yet this is what we do, yes?
We
Yes, I am here to destroy vampires, and even if this is a trap, we know it going in. Therefore, we will be ready for whatever odd scheme this count has against us.
Yeah. The Baroness will kind of get up and she'll walk over to, you said it's kind of like a study. She'll just open a drawer and see if she sees anything, just rummage.
Yeah, you start rummaging through the drawers. You see very old, like, not pictures, but small portraits, like, not
It's an antique.
maybe. You do find one thing. Can you give me a you don't have Arcana, so lore.
As
It's like
Wow, that's a good roll.
Hello.
Oh, that is very good. So that definitely gets desperate. So you find this deck of cards, but the cards are oversized. And they aren't like normal playing cards that you would be used to, which is a 40 card deck of various things. Yes, I know that it's not really a 52 card deck. It's just whatever. They're these wide cards, and they have these characters basically on them, caricatures, and they're these tarot cards. You don't know much about occultism. It is a growing fad here in and it has been for several generations. It is allowed, but there's some that say it has severe. It has something to do with vampire. It's not clear. Nobody's said what, or even in you're more about killing vampires than understanding them, because they all seem very different. They can be monsters, like literal monsters with giant wings. Some can be people. Some can be, all sorts of varieties. You do find them. You're not sure if it's a complete set or you've.
Does it look well used?
It does. Yeah, the edges are blunted. The corners are dog-eared, and some of them.
She picks them up with distaste. I have seen one of these before. My father had one of these tarot decks. He had unnatural interests in the occult. She kind of holds them out. These have obviously seen a lot of use.
You see, this is the problem with hedonism. When pleasures of the flesh no longer thrill one, they turn to darker, more sinister things to fill that hole inside their heart that can never be filled. This is what the end result is.
She just kind of tosses her hair and says, "Oh yes, we should instead all live lives of pleasureless boredom. This would be better."
Is that Oh, Renee says, as he starts to like stand up and kind of go towards the door that the count went out of, like maybe listening to see if he's returning, he like turns back towards her and says, "Is that sarcasm I hear in your voice?"
Of course not. I would never. And she makes the barest hint of a smile at one corner of her mouth. But she takes the cards, kind of glances at them one more time, and she'll stuff them into, women always have something.
Yeah, you're as you're stuffing them in. Give me a thievery check. It's under Dex.
Hey, that was
As the Baroness is stashing the cards, Michelle kind of dryly, "You know, thievery is a sin, yes?"
the gods or fate or what have you have already judged me, Michelle, and now I do as I like. And she just kind of fastens the bag that she put it in.
And just as you're doing that, the door opens and a guard steps in. This one is very different than the others. He has a more ornate helmet, and on the front of the helmet, in the center of the forehead, is a blood drop, and you see hanging off his belt is a war hammer, and he just says, "The master has fallen asleep. You may rejoin the party."
Renee is gonna step back, kind of surprised at him entering, through the door. He's probably standing near, and he says, excusez-moi. And takes a sip of the wine and says, the Count was looking for some letters for us. Did he happen to fall asleep with the letters in his hand?
He shrugs. "I did not go into his bedchambers. You may go back to the party now."
What is the symbol on your mask? It's this drop of blood. What does this signify?
He shrugs. "I bought it at market. It seemed like a nice display for parties such as this. You can go read person if you want.
No, she's no good at it. I
Or
won't even
Renee.
try.
It's
no
pretty
empathy.
obvious, just kind of a mumbling lie. He's not.
Yeah.
He plucks it off his head. Yeah, maybe you believe him, maybe you don't. I will remove it if you wish in this party. And he's kind of a middle-aged fellow, weather-beaten face. He tucks the helmet kind of to his side. I am not here to make small talk. He shrugs and turns and without he just starts walking out.
She goes, ahem.
Mademoiselle, yes? Oui?
She raises an eyebrow and she says, you have not asked to be dismissed.
I did not know you were my lord.
I am a lady of station and I am deserving of respect. You have not even addressed me by my title. It has been very rude.
And what is your title, madame? I cannot give you your just decorum without knowing.
Lady would have sufficed.
Lady, you may return to the party now, lady.
She kind of nods and looks at the others.
Michel kind of extends his arm out, his elbow out for her to take if she so desire, and he kind of sarcastically, "Shall we go, my lady?"
And she says, yes, for now. Because I want to. And she just kind of looks over at the guard.
And Renee will let them kind of head on out in front of him. And he calls back to the guard, though, before he closes the door and says, are we to be staying here tonight and leaving tomorrow? Or should I speak with the lady of the house?
He just looks at you and says, "We speak to her."
He nods.
Yeah, you head back into the hallway. If this guy is, it's very clear if this person is, familiar with parties and such. He's very bad at it.
Yes.
That is obvious. So you're out in the hallway by yourselves currently.
What a strange house this man keeps. It is in disrepair and his servants are ill-trained.
Aye.
A man of his means could do much better.
I feel like as if he is destitute and seeking some sort of way out. That is the feeling I get, and I am one who comes from nothing. I was but a pauper at a very young age, so I know the telltale signs when I see it.
Perhaps I have not heard any such thing, but she shrugs. I don't think we run in the same circles. I do not even know anyone else here.
I would like to speak to his wife and find out how much she knows about this. If he is going to be passed out and fall asleep and leave us here, we must speak with her.
Yeah, Baroness looks around the mansion and tries to kind of get an idea of how it's laid out.
Yeah, the bottom floor is kind of a main room here, kind of a foyer with there's goes behind the stairs on both sides. Each way, one leads to an atrium. There's bedrooms, studies, that kind of thing. You can go to a kitchen and servants area. Then you would go upstairs, and it's kind of like a balcony with bedrooms mostly up there, things like that. That's where you get the gist of it. There's exits on each side and like all four corners of the house. One to the atrium, one to the front, probably one to like, some garden or something. Yeah.
Would it be safe to say that his bedroom is upstairs and that's where he fell asleep and the guard is leading us down?
Yeah. The bedrooms on the first floor would be for guests and servants.
And so at this point, when the guard led us down here, now kind of the upstairs
the study was down here, so you've been on this level the entire time. Yeah.
But upstairs would be off limits pretty much anyway.
Yeah, you see at the top of the stairs there's guards standing there milling about. Not the same one you left in the study, but...
Perhaps while Dr. Renee talks to the wife, the Baroness can talk to the young buxom woman. She seems to be a piece of the puzzle. We do not quite know how she fits yet.
I can make an attempt, yes. See what she can contribute, although in many ways I am not a people person, Michel. What do you intend to do?
Perhaps I will walk around the estate and get a better sense of what state of repair it is in. Maybe there will be something that sticks out to my eye that will illuminate this mystery we seem to be unraveling.
Very well. Don't wander too far. Apparently there are monsters about.
Your concern is noted. My thanks, Baroness.
I guess
Going into the main room then?
Yeah. At least the two of us are. I don't know.
Yeah.
Misha
We'll
is.
start there. You see, the vampires are so different in this setting that you have some are made. You don't really know.
Okay.
Yeah, for being vampire hunters, you know extremely little of most of them because they're so varied. You come in, it looks mainly the same. People are getting drunker, looser lipped. You see the buxom woman hanging over her arm over a fellow, talking to him, whispering in his ear. He leaves for a while, and she kind of mills about. Celine is talking to people, introducing her niece. Seems to have it together. You notice you watch for a few minutes and notice she's not really drinking her wine or taking very small sips of it, kind of as you're doing, trying to not really enjoying herself as much as, say, her husband was, for instance.
Amelie will approach the buxom woman directly, but we can do Renee talking to Celine first if you like.
Oui. Renee will not cut in or anything. Maybe politely wait, still sipping his wine, in a dark corner until she is alone or just with Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle's always by her side. She ends the conversation and sees you kind of standing nearby, and she curtsies. I hope you're having a good time, Doctor.
Oui. I wish to speak with you for a moment, if I may.
Oh, most certainly. What do you want to speak about?
I was just speaking with your husband about the job that he hired us for. Do you know much about it?
Yes, I do hope you are able to keep me safe in the Blood Moon. I do have some worry for my niece. He has told me he has only hired the best, so I assume you three are the best.
And not wanting to give away that he kind of doubts that he's the best or that they're the best vampire hunters. I don't think he knows. This would be like their first gig together, right?
Yeah, probably all three together, yeah.
So he takes a little sip, but he wants to keep her confident. So he says, "Of course, he has hired the best. We
Right.
shall keep you safe, indeed. But he spoke of some letters that he was sent by this monstrous creature, and he was going to fetch them for me. But I believe he passed out before he could retrieve them. Do you know where they might be?"
She furrows her eyebrows. Letters? Yes, he does have letters, or did have letters. I thought he disposed of them.
Hmm.
They made him nervous, she said. Anxious? He is an anxious man.
Then perhaps it is true. Perhaps he did destroy them. Takes another sip and kind of looks a little bit distraught by that, but he says, "'Tis a shame. I could learn much from just the writing of this cretin."
You could. What could you learn from the writing of such a creature?
There are many secrets to tell by the way someone speaks. Even in the way that they write their words. But I will not bore you with the
This is something
complexities.
I am interested in. Tell me. I am standing here. What do you know about me from how I stand here and talk to you and talk to others? What you've seen?
Can he do a read person on her real quick?
Yeah.
See if he finds out any cool details by busting out some Sherlock Holmes on her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Pretty good. Yeah, she definitely doesn't like this party. Even though she's well dressed and well spoken, from what you can tell, you think that she's not been to a ton of these. Doesn't seem much interested in these, and probably is a bit of a loner. And this is all kind of foreign to her for one way or another. She, you'd have to talk to her for a long time to be sure, but she just carries a lot of sadness in her eyes and boredom too. You think?
Yeah. So I don't think he would. Maybe. He does say, well, for instance, you do not like these parties very much, do you?
Well, I do not think you need so much power of observation to see me standing here looking quite bored. Did you see me tapping my feet? She looks down at her feet and kind of wiggles them and gives a slight smile.
And he smiles a bit and straightens his monocle and says, and you were not born into money, as they say, were you?
Well, am I slouching? She straightens her shoulders. Do not tell my husband, eh?
I promise I will not. And if I say too much to offend, I am sorry.
Well,
But
I am not offended. Maybe. Well, let's see. Are you going to say more that will offend me, perhaps?
you prefer to be alone? Maybe reading in the study?
Perhaps reading. There is a awful lot of people here.
or walking in the garden. And he looks to her niece and offers a smile to her.
Yeah.
Tries to,
Michelle's just smiling, standing there. You can see she has a hand on Celine's dress, just kind of playing with the skirts of it a bit, and she says, Celine says, "Well, I do hope you do protect me. I prefer to be alive than dead, even as bold as I am."
I will do my best. And I believe you will not be bored. It should be an exciting journey. And hopefully we can cure you of your sadness. You have a sadness in your eyes. Is this because of something your husband did?
Well, he does attempt to mount me each night. I think if you were me, you would be sad too.
Indeed I would. And he feels already that he's like starting to get too far, so he takes a sip and he says, well, if you do happen to find the letters before we leave, I would very much love to see them.
I will look for them after the party. You will be staying in our chateau, correct?
Oh, where is this?
I will have one of the servants show you to your room.
Oh, thank you very much. And he'll nod and smile and nod to Michelle as he walks away.
Yeah, you walk away, and at the same time, Baroness, you're up. You see this pretty drunk lady. She turns to you. Ah, Mademoiselle, how are you?
She says, I am growing more intrigued as the night passes.
Well, I am
Tell me.
Ellie Deschardins. What is your name? I am almost lost without my mask.
I am Lady Rochelle. What is your name?
Rocher, I am Ellie Deschardins. Yes, and you recognize that name. It's a noble house, not a major one, but
Ah, and you are a guest at this party?
oh yes, we. It is a strange place. It is my first time here. My
Your first
father's
time
in me.
to this estate?
Yes, we.
But the count seems so familiar.
Oh yes. What can I say? She kind of shrugs, not like seeming like thinking anything about it. She just takes another drink of her wine. You do not have wine. Should I call for a servant? They have been very attentive to me.
That is good. I have found them to be ill-mannered and ill-trained. But no, the vintage is not to my liking. So you are not acquainted with the Count before
Oh,
this?
not yet. I have been introduced, but not here. Briefly. Oh, yeah. Some weeks ago, and she in the town of Locher, which is the town you came from.
Mm-hmm. Ah, I see. I thought perhaps that you were a household intimate and could tell me more about them, but it appears that you are nearly as ignorant as I.
Oh yes, for the most part, yes. Perhaps I will know more in the months to come. I think I will be here more often. And she smiles and takes a drink.
Ah, Amelie looks around, like, kind of surprised. You like it here?
Yes, sure.
Well, why do you think you will be here more often? It seems a bit drafty, and she kind of looks pointedly at the broken
Right,
windows.
she's gives a sly smile. Only it's nothing a woman's touch can't fix. My father
Yes.
wishes me to come here more often. I am a fourth child, and yes, it will do the Deschadens good.
Well, the Countess had a woman's touch for many years, and it does not appear to have done the trick.
She does not seem well. As you know, she does not come from any noble family. Did you know that? What do you expect a peasant to know about keeping a house? They live in hovels. This seems probably perfect for her.
And so you expect to be in a position where you are able to make a difference here.
Oh, just to help. As her lady in waiting.
I see. Well, there are probably some duties that she would not be
Suited for?
reluctant to give up. She kind of scoffs.
Oh, I will. She just shrugs. This is the place, huh? This is Roi de L'est. What else is there to do?
There is many, many other things I would prefer to do than the duties of the Lady Roa.
She takes a drink and well, perhaps, and she shrugs.
Well, enjoy the party, Ella, and best of luck in your ambitions.
Oh, thank you as well. Good night. And she takes a drink and kind of staggers up the stairs a bit. You see her kind of leave the atrium as the night is getting late.
Amelie will go look for Renee.
Yeah, you find Renee. Michelle, you walk around outside, and you don't see anything really out of the ordinary. You see that there is one person. He is wearing a oh god, whose atrium broke. He's wearing a peasant's mask, basically, which are just cowls, and he's working on this wagon. And he kind of looks up as you're walking by. Let me get you guys in a better scene here. Hold on. Is there one in here? Yeah, sure. Let's use this one. He looks up and doesn't really say anything as he's. He looks like he's tightening a wheel on a carriage with a tool.
Excuse me, sir. Is this going to be the wagon that the Countess takes tomorrow? Are you privy to that information?
He looks up and nods. We.
I will be accompanying your Countess. Is there something wrong? Something I should be aware of? And he kind of inspects it.
You can give me a craft roll. But he says, "Oh no, nothing wrong. Simply making sure that everything is perfect for the journey. Will be in the Blood Moon, as you know, if you are coming with us. I am the coachman."
Let me bomb this craft roll real quick.
Yeah. My name is Mathis. Yeah, it's not terrible. Yeah, you notice that the wheel looks a little janky.
Is that the one he's fixing? I
Yeah,
assume? Tell me, what has your count tell you of this mission?
We are to take the Countess and her niece to his villa in the Blood Moon. That is all.
And you do not find it unusual that he is having you do it on such a night?
Of course I do, but I am a simple man, and he will pay me quite a bit of money to do so.
Well, as I will be accompanying you and the Countess and her niece, I expect this carriage to be in tip-top shape. If there is anything I need to know or can pass on to my associates, it'd be much appreciated.
What are you attempting? What do you want to know? I cannot invent things. If you ask me questions, I will tell you, sir.
I want to know if this is a sturdy, reliable carriage, if you are an experienced man, if the horses we are taking are well trained or malnourished. Everything is important to me, especially when I am on a journey with both wards of mine and my friends.
He pulls off his cowl and it kind of exposes his face. You can know as his hood falls back that one eye is decimated, and he just grunts. These are the best horses that Monsieur War has. These carts will be ready. You can give a read person if you're trying to get a angle on him.
I'm not just
he
making sure that he's not basically, we're not getting the F troop assigned to us,
Right,
you know, on purpose.
Right, he leans down and pushes on the wheel and shrugs. This wheel needed some repair, but I am doing it. And he notices your rose and blinks a bit. What, you are a member of the Rose, eh?
Yes, I am. I am a member of the Order of the Rose. I have been all of my life. I owe my upbringing and my skills to them, and I do my best to serve our gods in the best of my abilities.
He just kind of grunts. I see. Well, pray to your gods that we survive on this blood moon then.
Indeed, I shall. And is his eye, is that like indicative of combat or just, you know?
It looks like
getting-
combat. Yeah, you would say combat. It's been cut out, bashed. It's hard to say exactly. There's a scar around it.
Tell me, Mathis, is this eye of yours something you lost perhaps some time ago in battle?
He blinks with his good eye. That is a very direct question. Is there something you need to know? I have one eye. Does it matter how I lost it, sir?
It does to me. It satiates my curiosity.
By law, I am forced to tell you that I was a member of the what is it called?
Pitchfork Rebellion.
Yeah, the Pitchfork Rebellion against the king, and I have served my penance. I was spared the blood moon and the great blood sacrifice, and here I am, attempting to atone from my sins, sir.
Michel puts a hand on his shoulder and kind of gives him a reassuring. There was nothing wrong in what you did. Do not be ashamed of it. It was not sinful, despite what the king may say. For what you did was noble and just, and while my word means nothing, I hold no ill will against you for what you did. He kind of confirms what his suspicion was.
His mouth kind of goes agape. Sir, you are not going to trick me into saying some seditious things. I am a poor man who did many wrongs to the king, and I am still here to pay my penance alive, instead of a snack for a vampire.
Oh, there is no deceit in my words, but I will not press you further, and I thank you for your honesty, and I look forward to getting through the morning or tomorrow safely to the villa. Thank you, sir.
He nods and looks back at the wheel. Good day, Michaud.
And there's you as well. And then kind of Michelle leaves, satisfied with what he saw, to go back to his companions.
Yeah, you kind of meet in the foyer again, the three of you, about a half an hour later, or an hour later.
Renee, looking out the window into the atmosphere, I suppose. The dark sky. Still sipping that same glass of wine.
And as Michelle approaches, he's, and what have you learned this evening, Doctor?
It seems that the Count's wife has not been able to find the letters, or she tells me that he burned them.
Most curious.
Indeed. I would have liked to have seen those letters, but it seems that that is not possible. Or perhaps he did not wish for us to see the letters in the first place.
I spoke with the Air Desjardins, the buxom woman that got a pat on the bottom. And I think this is a woman of ambition. She seems to think that she will be spending more time here. Her father has encouraged it, and she spoke almost as if she said that she would be lady in waiting, but from the influence she seemed to think she would have, I think she sees herself as a replacement to the Countess.
Perhaps that is part of the sadness that I read in the Countess's eyes. Maybe she knows about this, that she is being replaced and sent away.
Resignation, perhaps.
If it was me and I was just being sent away, that would not be a reason for sadness.
Indeed. She was not fond of being mounted by the Count every night. She expressed this to me.
Well, that is more information than I thought she would divulge, but not unexpected. Still, perhaps this is not just about being sent away.
Maybe she loses the estate, the money.
What of her family? Can she not go back to them?
I do not know.
As a countess, she could not be just put out of the house. She would have to be dead to be replaced.
Perhaps that is what the Count is counting on?
Perhaps. But he did arrow us, and I do not know what he thinks of our skill, but I am well known for having killed my share of monsters, so it makes little sense to send people who actually know what they are doing.
Perhaps they need someone good, but not quite good enough if he knows what might be coming after his wife. It has to be believable, perhaps?
Perhaps. But I think he will find he has underestimated us in that case.
I have not killed a vampire for 20 years, maybe.
It is like riding the bike.
And what is this bike you speak of?
It is a new invention of the... I will show you
Unicycle.
sometime. It is much like a unicycle, but with two wheels.
The wonders and gadgets and toys of the rich. I will never know these joys. Nor do I want to. Materialism does not fulfill my soul.
How would you know? She shrugs.
Yeah, it's getting late, and you notice in the atrium people are starting to pass out or go to bed. The Waz are gone. They've went somewhere, probably to sleep. You see, there's a couple hanger-on folk drinking, talking, that sort of thing. But it's there's nobody that you find of much importance. You see like some of the servants sneaking some wine and things, and it's about time for the help to party after everybody else has fallen asleep.
Well, distance-wise,
Mm-hmm.
as far as travel, does it seem like we would be expected to travel back tonight? If we
No,
were going to be
one of
here
the
again?
one of the servants comes up and leads you to your room whenever you're ready.
Right.
Yeah, you have rooms. The men share a room, and actually, I would say you all share a room.
Before we
Oh, go
go
ahead.
to our room, Doctor, would you be so kind as to fetch some of my personal items from the carriage?
Oh, but of course.
And
And
the
she
guards
kind
can
of
be
gives him a
enlisted to do that.
meaningful
Yeah.
glance. No, she doesn't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
the guard to go get it. She wants him to go get her weapons
Oh,
and
yeah,
armor.
Yeah. He'll definitely do that immediately.
Maybe, Michelle, there might be something you need from the carriage as well.
Oh, indeed I do. I do not like the feel of this place, and I will feel more secure with two of my favorite things at my side.
It's when you have your teddy bears, and I think we will all feel safer.
Michelle kind of gives her a little squinty-eyed. Finally relents. Yes, my teddy bear, while I suck on my thumb while I sleep in the fetal position. Yes.
You gather your teddy bears and everyone else's teddy bears, and you head into a room. It's kind of got a divider, if you wish to put it up, but definitely below the standards of at least the Baroness. But if you're not planning on doing anything, you can call it a night and go to sleep.
Make sure the door is locked, and
Yes.
the Baroness will put things in front of the door and in front of any windows in case someone tries to slip in.
Yeah, can the Baroness give me a D10? You do not want to roll an odd one, please. You actually, there's something about this place, the oddness of it, the strangeness of it. Your mind is keen to it. Maybe it's you're too focused to dream that terrible dream that you have about your father, and you actually sleep fairly peacefully. And you wake to hearing a rooster crow in the distance, and no odd things happening during the night. And there is a knock on your door. Monsieur, mademoiselle, this is, it is time for breakfast.
Yes. Yes, thank you. We will be a moment. And I guess we get ready and go to breakfast.
Yeah, is there anything you want to do during the day? Is there anything you'll do, or you just wait
I
until...
think the Baroness is now wearing her Bloodsman gear.
Yeah.
You know, she gets up and she's not wearing the fancy dress anymore. She's wearing her
Right.
armor and practical black leather pants.
Yeah.
Got your
We're looking the
Spanx
part.
on.
Mm-hmm. Corset,
Um,
of course, but
There is something
Mhm.
like I was interested in doing. Maybe
Yeah, sure.
if there's are there still people around that stayed the night, like other houses? And...
Many of them are departing like early. The blood moons tonight. They're not going to get stuck in the blood moons. So
plus
Yeah.
this house is weird.
yeah.
And did anybody stay for breakfast or anything like that? Or...
So Ella did. The family's there.
Okay. I was just wondering, like, if we could do maybe a quick roll or anything. If he could get any gossip about the Count at all, or learn anything maybe new.
Go ahead and give me a streetwise check.
Eh,
No, you don't. No one's talking. If there's anything to be said,
Cool.
oh, that one just kills you. Um,
Yeah. I just want to make a quick check and see about that. They probably don't know the dirty deeds anyway.
Michelle doesn't do anything special as Amelia gets, or Amelie, excuse me, gets her Kate Beckinsale on. He finds the best way to remove himself from temptation is to go about his religious practices.
Amelie does get dressed in front of everybody, by the way. She doesn't
Turning his
care.
He turns his head. Yeah, he's, oh, no, thou shalt not tempt thee. And
yeah, this is the greatest role playing of all time. Like to change like who you are as a person to a character. It's the
I think Dr. Renee would look away too. Maybe try to give her like privacy or whatever.
Am I so hideous, gentlemen?
it's something only a trained person would notice that Michelle did make sure to turn away to face a direction that did have a mirror that pointed in the
he
But,
could not be insulted by my words enough. He's like, no, I can't do that.
But other than that, there's nothing special on his agenda for the day other than, preparing himself, maybe seeing the mood of the Countess and the niece, going through the normal, a routine of preparing.
Yeah, you
for
don't
night.
see much of them, honestly. You're mostly eating with people who are leaving and other low-ranking folk. Only when the afternoon begins to fall do you actually get visited by them. Leon, let me get him. Where did I put him? He's sleeping. Bring him over. He finally approaches you around 3 o'clock and, you have awoken. It was quite a night. And he talks to you, and he's probably a few feet away, and you just smell his rotten breath. He's just woken up. He has a goblet in his hand. Are you ready for the blood moon tonight and to protect my lovely wife and her niece? We have not talked about payment yet.
I do not do this from the money, of course, but I am sure that your church could use a donation, right, Michel?
A donation to my order is most appreciated.
Well, I will give the money to you, and if you wish to give it to those fools, you can do what you want. It is not my business. It is the king's business, though. When he comes to stay with me next, I may tell him.
Oh, does the king visit you often?
Oh, yes, of course he does. We are fast friends, he and I, from the war.
The Baroness kind of raises an eyebrow and looks over at Renee with kind of some disbelief.
Oh, yeah, it's probably. Yeah, there's no way.
But of course you are. Did you happen to find the letters you spoke of last night?
Letters? You say? I do not remember anything about the letters.
Hmm.
I am
Is
sorry, sometimes I do forget things when I am deep in my cups.
Oh, not to worry at all. I just happened to hear you speak about the letters that this Cretan was sending you.
All those letters. I am sorry I destroyed all those. Each one I burnt in the fireplace there.
Indeed, that is too bad. And, Renee will nod, but act like he just dismisses it.
And there's a boot on the ground. You hear somebody walking up, and he says, "Ah, I one of my household guards. He will be accompanying you." And just as sure as your luck, it's this fellow.
And what is this servant's name?
This is Rime, and yeah, Rime.
Renee?
He just shrugs. It is Rime, yes. I will be accompanying you during the blood moon to kill any vampire, I suppose.
She snorts. Yes, it will, well,
He has just this odd confidence for somebody going out into a blood moon, a normal guard. Yeah, they wouldn't act like this.
Hmm.
He actually
Well,
would probably have his helmet on. Yeah.
I hope then you have your affairs in order. This can be quite the risky venture.
Yes, I have put away some money for my family, so that if I am killed by a vampire, they will have all my fortune.
Well, if you have made your peace with it, so be it. I cannot. The waiting is the worst part. I grow not so much anxious, but impatient.
Leon says, these guards will serve us well, we may. Do not worry. He nods. Yes, I'm sure they will. Well, I will prepare. And he turns around and walks off.
Do you know this man from... He has served your family for a long time.
Oh, no, just a week or so. No, let's see, a couple of months. He came
Really?
and came to me, said he was looking for a job.
Oh, that is interesting. The timing. He requires more training, I think, in matters of dealing with upper classes, but he certainly seems confident.
Well, yes, I have him, and you have him. And he nods to Michelle. There is some training to be done, for sure.
Uh, some horses cannot be broken, but I will do my utmost. And she
I
looks
bet
over
you
at
will break him well. And he smiles.
break him or break him. He shrugs.
He says, talk to my wife about leaving then. At midnight, I will be busy for this afternoon. I hope to see you after the blood moon. Good luck.
Have you already said goodbye to your wife?
Of course. And he shrugs. It is not like I will not see her again, right?
This is true. Thank you for your hospitality.
Doctor? He gives a bow to the doctor and also the Baroness and just gives Michelle a short look before walking off back up the stairs. He barks something to a servant. More wine?
And Doctor, well, look at the cross. Is Michelle wearing a cross?
It's a silver, just like his avatar pick. It's a silver rose.
Yeah, there's no crosses. It's not.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not
Christianity.
real. It's not Christian. It's their symbol is that of the rose, and it's his
Oh,
is
okay.
a silver rose pin on his basically where your lapel would be.
Cool. So that's their like holy symbol, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so he'll ask him about that. Then he's like, as he's looking at it, and he says, "Does this help fend off the vampire?"
No, this is just a symbol. I find the thing that best wards off the vampire is this, and he kind of points to his sword and this, and he pats the flintlock pistol he has tucked into his belt.
Doctor smirks and nods.
If anything, this is a reminder of my faith and my commitment to the order and my sworn duty to hunt down and kill these vampires. They are unnatural. They do not belong in this world, and I will do what I can to end as many as I can.
Some of these creatures can pass for human. You know this, yes?
Passing for human and being human are two different things.
Of course.
Is
But
there?
I question the coincidence of this guardsman
Indeed.
arriving so soon, close to this.
Indeed. Is there some obvious test that you know?
No, I am afraid not. They are all so different, almost unique. But I would be wary of this fellow.
There are so many different types. I can see if maybe he has the telltale signs of one type in particular, but I do not think he will allow me to do a sampling of tests to see if he reacts negatively to any of them?
I suppose, Doctor, that you could ask him and see how he reacts.
Excuse me, sir, are you a vampire?
Sometimes the direct way is best.
He does smile at that. He says, maybe he is allergic to silver.
I am hoping he is allergic to bullets and boats. If he is indeed a vampire.
Well, nonetheless, we will watch our backs and each other's.
Of course. And of course we will keep his family safe. She seems almost as an afterthought.
I think after that, he will straighten his coat and head towards the way out there.
Michel kind of has donned his cuirass and put his helmet on. You can see kind of the ends of a metal coif underneath it. Cuirass. That's right.
Yep. Yeah, you head out and it's getting close. You look up into the sky and you see as the moon begins to eclipse the sun, and it's or whatever, and it begins to glow that red tint that you've seen. Now, for Renee and Michelle, you have never been out in a blood moon, and for Emile, you have only done this once, obviously, and at the time you were unarmed and being executed. So it is kind of a blast from the past for you.
Yeah,
you need a combat mask, but yeah, you put on your mask and prepare.
That is her combat mask.
That is my combat mask.
Right.
Yeah, are you saying combat masks can't be feminine?
Sure.
She looks up at the moon in the sky and the reddish tinge it gives everything, and yeah, she's kind of transported back to that night that she was sent to the forest and nothing but a shift, no weapon to defend herself. She kind of shakes herself mentally to come back to the moment, to focus on the task at hand, rather than get lost in those intense memories. But I think anyone looking at her can see that her composure is a little bit not its usual emotionless state.
Yeah, as you reach the carriage, already you notice that there's a man sitting on the bench. Michelle, you notice this is Mathis, the man you had spoken to earlier, and he just gives you a slight nod as you all approach. You don't see anybody. The carriage actually have these seats on the outside of them too, like the bench, and there's places to stand on the sides. Inside, it looks full already. You see Reme seated on one side, his warhammer in his lap, and then Celine and Michelle. This is the first time you've seen them in masks, and Celine wears a very typical feminine mask, a half mask with a large feather in it, and Michelle wears a kind of a strange mask. There is a tendency for people to wear more and more exotic masks everything kind of one-upmanship sort of thing. And she wears this mask where she appears to be an animal of some sort, a dog or a wolf or a fox, something like that. And it kind of hangs down off the sides of her shoulders. Very unique mask. Which is something that you would believe the Waz could afford if, the estate didn't look like it did. But perhaps that's what they spend their money on. And so you hear Mathis, he says, "Take your spots on the outside here to protect the Countess." And
That's what Mathis says.
Yeah. He's a peasant, but...
Yeah, Amelie ignores Mathis and says, "We should position ourselves around the wagon to protect the Countess," as if he didn't say anything.
Very well. I will stand on one of these running boards and protect the left side.
Running board's perfect. I did not know what those were called. Alright, so give me a sec. If we want to take 5 minutes, we can.
Okay.
He's got to get his top-down map.
How dare you?
Nothing's gonna happen though. It's gonna be like safe travel.
Right. I mean, the end of the session is you guys get there, and that's the end of the session.
We succeed.
Good job, guys. They were scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be hilarious, kind of.
I'll be right back when you switch things over.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna be right back.
Now I'm back.
I'm back.
Curious. How do you pronounce it?
Cuirass, I think.
Yeah, it's Kiras. Or Os.
Sounds like everybody's here. The wagon or the carriage takes you down a muddy road as the moon is red above. Each of you feel anxiety, intense worry. You hear things as the wind blows. Was it unnatural? Was it nothing? Are you tricking yourself? You try to listen to the rummaging of the wagon as it keeps going, the hum of the wheels rolling over knots of wood and branches in the road. The worst part is ahead, you would think, where there is a small grove of trees that you need to pass through, which you passed through these even earlier than the day before. You turn on a bend of the road and you continue to go, and I'll let you do some role play as you're on the boards on the outside of the carriage as you go.
As they approach the woods, Amelie pokes her head inside the wagon for a moment, just to check on them and give them a reassuring nod before closing the door.
Yeah, they're inside. They both sit there. They almost look impassive, kind of as they did before. Michelle sits close to Celine, while Remy sits on the other side. It's hard to tell his expression, obviously, impossible, with his mask on, but he keeps his warhammer in his hand, waiting for anything that might happen.
And
We
we're
are about to pass into the forest, she says as she's getting ready to close the door.
Remy simply nods. The other two say nothing.
is it possible to keep an eye on Remy?
No. These things have shutters, and they are closed. If they open them,
Michel stands with his back to the carriage, one hand holding onto a handrest, both feet on the running boards as his head is on his swivel the closer they get to the small gathering of trees. He alternates between the tree line, the road ahead, Mathis, trying to gather what way anyone would dare approach the carriage as it makes its way towards the villa.
yeah, the trees begin to enclose you from both sides as you move through the woods. Give me a survival or a ride roll. You might have to do it from the sheet. Oh, there it is. It's under intelligence, yeah.
Survival or ride roll?
Ride is under agility, survival is under int.
Ooh, that was not good.
I did mine.
Yeah, both, Emil, you don't notice anything, but Michelle and Renee, you notice the carriage is picking up speed. Like slowly and steadily, but you're going pretty fast at this point.
Mathis, why are you going faster? It is dangerous in these woods to go at this speed. Are you worried? Nervous?
Of course I am nervous. And he cracks the reins really hard, and all of a sudden the wagon jolts forward a bit. Carriage jolts forward.
Slow down, you idiot, before you do something stupid and damage the carriage.
Cracks it again, and upcoming is a corner, and he pulls on the reins hard to turn right, and all of a sudden you notice that wheel that he was working on just comes loose from the carriage, and it tips over in that direction. And I want everybody to make it's going to be a hazard, So a rank 3 hazard against your acrobatics or athletics. So I'll roll the hazard. It's so it's a rank 3, so it's 5. Oh, this is PL1. 40, 10, keep 3. Okay, so go ahead and roll your...
Not quite.
Okay,
Acrobatics or what?
athletics. Fail and a fail.
Ooh, there you go.
That's a
But
fail as
nope,
well.
still not
Also a
quite.
fail.
They all fail. So let's see. So that would be 3, 4. So I don't know if it's going to matter. So Emil, that would be a total of 6 damage to you. Does that do anything to you? It's not soaked by armor.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Michel, that is actually 8 damage to you. Does it do anything to you? Is that an injury or anything like that?
That would be an injury. My injury level is 6.
Okay. Can you give yourself 1 there? And that is, I'm sure that's not enough for you, Renee. That's only 3, 4, 5 damage for you. Let's see. Where are you? Nope.
You
not
said
quite.
armor doesn't soak that.
No,
yeah.
no soak.
No,
on that
not
one.
for a hazard, no.
Yeah, not for that hazard. Yeah, you go flying off the cart, and Emil and Renee, you're able to kind of tumble. But Michelle, you kind of are a little bit more clumsy coming off there, and you just land straight on your back, and your helmet just goes doom against a nearby tree, and you feel like blood like coming down your forehead.
As Michel is thrown from the carriage. His armor is quite good at absorbing blows, but not the best when traveling at a high rate of speed, rolling on the ground, and his head bounces off a heavy stump or a root from a tree, and he can just feel his head ringing and a small trickle of blood.
As Renee rolls into some soft, I guess, foliage, he quickly jumps up and pulling his crossbow. Bolts are locked in, or just for right now, bolts are in place. And he starts to look around at the wagon and his comrades to see if they're all right.
Yeah, Amelie angrily kind of tumbles down, manages to roll so that she isn't hurt, but her dignity is hurt, and she picks up her crossbow, checks it, then looks over at the wagon. Mathis le fou.
Yeah, you look up and there's just kind of, you don't know what's happening at first, but you see Mathis is unhitching one of the horses that has stayed upright. The other one is kind of on its side with the cart half on its hind legs, and you hear screaming from in the cart, and then a big bang. And if you were a guessing person, it would be the warhammer hitting something.
Yeah.
Renee will, immediately shout, to the carriage!
And it looks like Mathis is going to take off on the horse.
Yes.
Cowardice being one of the greater sins in Michel's mind, stands up and is going to draw that pistol and smoke that fool before he can get away. Because he also happens to have the non-lame horse.
Right.
Well,
Amelie will kind of hurry behind Renee to the carriage. If he reaches up to open it, the door, she's going to pull her crossbow up to see what she sees on the inside, so that she's like ready to go.
okay. Give me a sec. You guys wouldn't have been on the same side of the carriage, so how about there? Okay, hold on. Now the top-down map. Yeah, there are lanterns kind of hanging off the side of the carriage, but you don't have you have torches with you, but obviously not lit. Um, so yeah, this is kind of what you see. You don't see the inside there. Um, you just hear some screaming, and you one of the shutters is partially open, and the door is on the top side. So this is flipped over on its side, obviously, right? So go ahead and give me some initiative rolls.
You son of a bitch.
Mine didn't go through. I'll do it again.
Okay.
A damn Remy.
Unless one of the girls is the vampire.
Got tricked. It was Michelle. Not to be confused with Michelle.
Attack Michelle! Remy LeBeau.
All right. Holy crap! How did she roll that? So it does flip over, and out of the shutter pops out her, and she like runs this way. That's 5 hexes, and she says, "He's trying to kill me." Help Michelle! And she runs out and kind of like just looks disheveled. And Remy actually comes out of the thing himself and gets to about, we'll do there. He has his warhammer in hand, just running after her. Hold on. And
What are you doing?
Yeah, he either doesn't hear you or he's just chasing her.
But this isn't like... He's not displaying any monstrous traits, right?
No,
Okay. Is it my turn then, or...
Yeah, it's your turn. Yeah. Actually, okay, so hold on. So he comes out and he's chasing her, and then he gets to about here, and then he stops, and he just is standing there, and his head kind of turns to Renee. But he was initially chasing her for sure.
His head turns to what?
Towards the
Doc.
face Renee, the doctor.
Oh, okay. I think the Baroness is actually going to move. She's gonna run. No, let me start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's gonna put herself kind of so that he'd have to go between them. And she says, "Stop this madness! What are you doing?"
What's how much did you move?
5.
5 hexes or 5 AP?
5 hexes.
Okay. And you ran, right? So, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, let me get some different music. Michelle. You gonna shoot Mathis?
Yeah, true to his word. Forgetting the kind words he said the other day. That's 5 hexes. That should be within short range for his pistol.
I don't know about short. What is your pistol? Is it a 6?
6. It's going by
Medium.
hexes, or is it medium?
It's medium.
Meters?
It's hexes, but it's medium. You'd have to be at 2 to be short from 6.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Close.
All right, let's shoot him. Medium range.
It's a hit. 13 damage. In the leg, though. 10. Yes, no soak. That's an injury. You also have an injury, so that's a -3.
That's already factored in there.
Oh, did you do it? I didn't see
I
it.
added it in.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, you shoot him in the leg. He's like, oh! I am sympathetic to your cause. Why are you shooting me? And he like hobbles a bit in the while he's kind of trying to get the horse free.
You're a coward.
Doc.
Renee is going to fire his crossbow at Remy.
Point blank range.
Oh, too bad I didn't have the net gun set up.
You can. The net gun you can. So it shoots either nets or bolts.
It's got like 2 triggers or something.
Yeah, basically. I
could flip it, do that cool thing or something. Sweet. I'll fire the net.
Yeah, you can net him. I gotta pull up my grappling rolls.
Oh, do I have any cool pluses for this thing, or?
Let me see.
Sorry, I should
don't
have looked that up
think
first.
so.
I don't have like weapon master on it or anything like that. Do I?
No, that's all you got. Unique gun +2. Yeah, Get extra ammo on that thing. That's what it is. It's a bolus gun. But you are point blank range, which is very good.
Does that give me any additional mods or anything
No,
like that?
it just means you're not going to take any range penalties. It's a hit, so he is at least grappled for the time being.
Nice.
So he needs to roll a 3 to get out of it, but he's going to have to do that when it's his turn. So remember, he's got to get a 2.
So Renee, immediately as Remy's like running out, he flips to the net and on the crossbow and just fires it as it wraps around probably his arm and his torso, I guess. What was that hit at?
What did it say? It says torso, yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
arms, yeah, whatever. Yeah, he looks down briefly. Where is that one?
You fool! Are you on the side of the vampires?
Goddamn grappling rolls. Okay, there it is. All right, it is Michelle's turn, and she is not. She doesn't come out of the. She doesn't come out of there. Oh, it's Mathis's turn first. He uses interact action to get up on the horse. It's 2. And then she is going to delay 5. She's not coming out. And then it would be Mathis's turn, and he is going to ride the horse. Yeah, he pretty much escapes because it's got a speed of 2. He runs, so he would be 10 hexes away. I guess you could follow him if you wanted. Heads back towards, I guess it would be this way, but where'd he go? He disappeared. Oh, there he was. He went the other way, but yeah, he's like down here, riding away. So that's 5. He's at 7. He doesn't wait for a response. He just looks at you angrily, and it is Remy. He needs to get out of the grapple, so he has to grapple. And so let me look at this. Defensive grappler. These offensive actions. No. Okay, so he's gonna try. He's got to grapple this thing, so he needs to make a hand-to-hand roll to get out. Guessing this is going to be a successful versus a 2. So yeah, he rips the bolus off his feet, but that took him 3 AP to do. So
Nice.
Slows him down significantly, and then it is the Baroness's turn.
Is there an action to basically a perception check or something? I'm trying to see if she sees any injuries on Remy or.
Oh, I just let you do a perception check.
Because she thinks this feels weird.
Yep. Yeah, you don't see anything on him.
Well, the other thing was she wanted to look at Celine and see if she looked normal.
Oh yeah, she looks normal. She just is running away.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not injured either somehow.
And all she said is he's trying to kill me,
Yep.
and Remy hasn't said anything.
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot Remy then, I guess.
Okay.
Drop your weapon, and she'll shoot him with the repeating crossbow. Let's see. Am I adjacent or close?
You're point blank.
That was one shot.
So you're just shooting a single shot? Yep.
I think she's just doing a
Yep.
single shot.
So that's
She's still not
16 with piercing. So let me see his armor. And that was the leg. Okay.
I can see her shooting toward a leg anyway.
13. And then... what is your agility? 3.
A 3.
So remove 1 from his piercing defense on his leg, which would be 4. So we're talking about -7 to 16. So he takes 9. That is a injury for him. Yeah, you hit him in the leg, and he just and looks up, and he seems to be kind of out of it a bit, like he's not even looking at you. Looks down at his bloody leg. That puts you at 6. I think it is Michelle's turn. No, I'm sorry, it is not Michelle's turn. It is... Oh yeah, it is Michelle.
He will draw. What is draw? 1 action?
Normal draw is interact, so 2 AP. You can interact quickly if you have acrobatics and can make a 14.
Let's try that.
Okay. If you fail, I think I can't remember.
It's an extra.
So 3.
Yeah.
14, huh? Hmm.
There is like a there's an action like move and draw,
Yeah.
if that's what you want to
That's
do.
what I was looking for right now.
Yeah, there's one in there. Draw. So that would be move and draw, AP3. You can move 1 hex and then draw.
I'll do that.
Yes, that's 3 AP. Okay. Okay, you're at 6. With your falchion out, and Renee.
Renee will fire the crossbow.
Net or bolt.
Yeah, net or bolt.
Do I have to add the bolt or?
No, you have 3 bolts. I'm
Okay.
just. Are you shooting to grapple him or to hurt him?
To hurt this
Okay.
time.
Okay. So you'll have to reload after next one.
Does it have like several bolas or?
It has 3.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
Oh,
I
dude,
added
that's
armor
actually-
on there.
that's actually pretty cool. Let me fire another bolus then.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
This thing is way cooler than I thought. If I can keep him pinned, that's kind of cool.
Yep. Grappled targets can't move, so they can attack, but they can't move. So that's a hit. That's a hit.
Nice. Left
so-
leg.
Yep. Him being so close is screwing him over.
And he fires another one wrapping around his legs just as he gets the other one off.
Okay. Who's up? Hurt. Give me a second here.
If I can, I will say something to him again. I don't know.
Yeah, you can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll like, drop your weapon, fool! What is wrong with you?
Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Celine's just yelling, "Please don't let him kill me! Please don't let him kill me!" Michelle does not come out. So 6s. It is Remy's turn. He is going to rip off the... I'm going to do, actually... no, he can't. Grapple, it takes all 3. Make sure that he gets it off. But I think he will. Hand to hand. He's got to be the 0. He does. He rips this one off. He doesn't respond to you at all. He's got this glazy, like glassy look to him. Actually, he has his helmet on. You don't know that.
Oh, I can't read him, huh?
No, you can't read him. He has his mask on. Baroness.
And she has her suspicions, but doesn't see anything else to do other than kill him. So She's gonna shoot him twice this time.
Okay. I think his base defense is reduced because he's grappled too. Doesn't say that. Okay, so 12 plus 12 is 24.
He's got an injury, right?
Yeah, that doesn't matter though.
Oh yeah, not for that.
20. Okay, so 24 minus 3 is 21 minus 4, I think. Yeah, that's a wound. Oh, that actually, that is not a wound. That's an injury.
Okay, she'll do it again.
Well, you shoot. The rate of fire just doubles your damage.
Oh, it just doubles your damage. Got it.
It doubles your post-roll modifier in damage. Did you
Okay,
take a
got it.
-3 on that attack? It doesn't matter. Yeah, just when you use when you use your 2 rate of fire, it's -3 to your attack.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Yeah, it didn't matter in this case though. Yeah, just you're trying to shoot. Maybe you're trying to shoot him in the leg, but he doesn't even wince though. That is for sure. And Michel.
He runs 4 hexes to get next to Remy.
Okay, that's 2.
So 2 AP.
All right, then it would be the Dockster. This is your last bolt.
Yeah, he'll fire one more time.
Okay. Bolus again.
Yeah.
Again,
Got
hits
him.
him just barely. Man, if he was any range band further, I don't think he would hit him.
Nice. Torso strike again.
Yep, so he's wrapped up again. And you are out of bolts. Whose turn is it? Mathis's turn. He's gone, I'm essentially guessing. Mathis is gone. 8s. Yeah, she just keeps moving away at this point. Runs over there, running away. You just kind of see her out of your peripheral vision, moving away.
I'll shout to her. Don't go far.
Yeah, she just kind of stays over there. Michette?
Michel brings his falchion up and brings a hard strike, or as hard as he can, down on Remy as he's fighting to get out of the bolus or net.
Mm-hmm.
There's no benefits or anything to attacking.
Nah,
Remy,
his
but,
defense is just compromised.
Stinger.
I just started watching that show.
It's good. I liked it.
I'm only about like 8 episodes in, but
I think I got into the second season a little bit.
Okay, sorry.
Everything
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, it's just Harley got up. Okay, so you're attacking. Did you swing? Yeah, okay.
Depends
29.
if I got him a wound or not. Then maybe I didn't swing. Yes, I swung.
He's got to do a defensive action. Just like
Does he get a negative to that?
I think so.
yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Just to your base.
No, the offensive grappler.
Yeah, he hasn't had a chance to untie himself this time, yeah?
Yeah, it doesn't say he should, but I'm going to say he should. I have to look at that. He's going to do a parry with a hardship. $19. So it's a hit by 10. To the left leg is 7. Add 4 is 11. It's slashing. So let's see. What is your dex?
My dex is 4.
So this be subtract hit in the leg, right? 3. Okay, let me do it. So 10. 10 minus minus 3 is 7. Minus 3 is 4. Plus 4 is 8. Alright, so 8 is not enough to give him an injury. It just deflects off his armor. You don't cut him well enough. Alright. And then it is the 9s. It is Remy's turn.
Did we add 1 to him?
Yep, yeah, you're right, I need to. And then, okay, so it's the Baroness's turn. You have 3 more arrows, 3 more bolts.
Yeah, I guess I'll attack him. We're too close for me to aim. I'm worried he was gonna run away. So I'll subtract 3 this time.
Okay. $17. So plus 12, that's 29. Minus 3, 26. Minus whatever. So his piercing on his leg is... okay, so, sorry. 29 minus 3. 29 minus 3 minus 4. Okay, so that's 22. That is going to give him a wound. Guess a wound.
Oh, I've got
Uh-huh.
mortal on my crossbow.
Okay.
So it's an injury and a wound.
Yep. So you shoot him in the leg and it like sticks directly into his knee.
Hmm.
He doesn't make any noise or anything as he's shot. And
There's something unnatural here. He's a monster under some kind of control.
yeah, I think that's fairly obvious. Renee, you're up.
Can Renee get that mask off of him?
You could move for 1 and then do an interact to get it off your next turn. So yeah, you move. So it's 10. And then it would be Remy's turn. He is going to just try to take off the bolus again. He does. Rips it off. But that puts him at 13. And then let's see who's up. It is Michelle. She does not do anything as far as you know. And it is the doc. You gonna take it off?
Yeah. He's gonna try to, and he's shouting his name.
Yeah, you peel it off and you see kind of this glazed over look and then sudden like pain like hit him and you're screaming in his face, and he kind of looks like he's like just waking up. It's almost like a thing.
Yeah. Remy, get up, wake up. Kind of shaking it out of him, or
Yeah, Michelle, what are you gonna do?
He's gonna aim a couple times.
How many
See here.
times?
Let me see what's his nuts.
He's at 13.
I'm gonna aim once
Mm-hmm.
and see if Renee gets a.
Yeah, I just
some
kind of
sort
see like
reaction.
holding the
He's-
weapon
he's-
up above
He's
your
holding
head.
the weapon above, like getting ready to strike down in case whatever the doctor is trying to do succeeds or fails.
Hmm. Baroness.
She's looking for the woman.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
can't-
You turn around, she's gone.
She kind of walks forward and says, Celine! Celine! Calling for her.
Yeah, you do not see her. But there's a bunch of woods around, but you don't see her. Doc, what are you gonna do? Or actually, it's Michelle, but or maybe I didn't give you your 13. Doc, what do you keep yelling in his face, right? And he's just he starts like moaning, my leg, me leg, me leg. What happened?
why have you attacked the women?
The women, Celine, she's a vampire. I am a bloodsman. I am Remy LeBeau, and I keep forgetting how to pronounce your name, Slip. Can you help me?
Amelie.
Amelie. Amelie, you would know. Well, give me a lore roll, I guess.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's a very famous vampire hunter, a bloodsman.
Yes, you are under some kind of control. You are not yourself, Mr. LeBeau.
Yeah, he grunts. Ugh. When the car tipped, I went to hit her, just at the time. And he frowns. And then I do not remember after that.
What made you think that she was a vampire?
I have been chasing her for some time. Ugh. I
How
had
do you
tracked her.
know?
As they're talking, Michelle's gonna go over to the carriage and look inside to look for Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle is in there and she's kind of like, she's almost hugging herself in the fetal position, rocking back and forth. She doesn't appear to be dead or anything. Or
Little girl, it is safe to come out now. You can trust me? And he takes his helmet off shortly to show his face so she knows who it is, and before putting it back on, and puts a hand down there to help her out. It is okay. The danger has passed for the moment.
she looks a bit confused and points to where Celine was, is kind of above her at this point, and does like the shrug, like, where is she?
She ran off into the woods. She was scared, but it is okay now. We will find her soon.
She frowns and reaches up and you can pull her out.
Renee is going to probably see them coming out of the carriage, so he's going to whisper it, I guess, to Remy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying that the Countess is a vampire?
Oui? Ugh.
kind of shocked by this. He couldn't read it when he, like, almost amazed too that how skillful she must be at hiding it.
Are you sure?
Oui, I am sure. Where is she?
Why? She is in the forest. If she is a vampire, then she is safe in the forest, but if she is not, then she needs help.
She is a vampire. Why would I do what I did? I attacked.
You
What did I do?
attacked her, but you would not respond. You seem to be almost in... The doctor had to shake you before you came back to yourself.
And this was after she left? These are things that these vampires do.
Why would she make you attack her?
She did not make me attack her. I tried to attack her.
But what is the trance then?
I do not know. I do not know what I did.
Renee will look over to Michelle. Could I get a read on her, or?
Her mask is half off. She did. I mean, not really, because she's just sitting there, kind of blankly. She can't speak.
What made you think that the Countess was vampire?
He grumbles, yeah, and he sits down and looks at his knee, and he just shakes his head and says, "I have been tracking her. I heard about the deaths at the chateau of the wars."
But one makes it think it was her.
Because I looked at everyone else, all their curiosities, I let it known that I was a Bloodsman. I believe she planned on killing me. It was her, I promise you.
She did not act to kill you. In fact,
No, she almost had you kill me.
yes. How did you look into Denise?
He seems surprised by that. Denise, this girl?
If Zaline is vampire, why not Denise?
Do you think she is a vampire? The girl, or no, he. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant to say. Do you think she is really her niece, or someone that she is using as a ghoul? And this is a common term.
Perhaps it is the other way around.
He looks at her. Then I will bash your head in, regardless.
No. We must know who is who and what is what.
There is a thing. When vampire die, as far as you know, they turn to ash. If we kill her and she turns to ash, then we know. And she's now she's kind of looking up.
That is not acceptable. We must know before. And he looks over to the horse. Is the horse
Oh, its back hind legs are broken.
We are stuck out here during the blood moon?
Then I am lame due to you?
Renee will walk over to the little girl and pretend that maybe he's helping her with the mask. and say, "Are you okay?"
She looks up at you and nods. And as she does, in the distance you hear a howl and then more howls. And you look up and the blood moon is full. And as you do, you have time to lament as the screen goes to black. And we'll end it there for tonight.
Bum bum bum.